Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in today a little bit more in depth into how to spot a emotional manipulator. How do you spot a malignant narcissist or a psychopath? Not only how do you spot it with your eyes, how can you spot it with your heart? How can you spot it with how you feel? How can you be a better judge of character, or better, really more so, how can you enforce and protect your boundaries and your standards? Not only when it comes to reflecting and looking back on your past, but really coming to the present as well as being able to identify and protect yourself in the future. But before we get started, I just want to give a super huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. Thank you so much for your contributions and your support in helping keep the channel alive. It really makes it very worthwhile to hear from you and to know that I'm providing a valuable service. So thank you so much. And absolutely positively, for those of you who would like to participate in the channel, please do feel free to donate at the PayPal Donate Now button here at the About page at the Peace and Harmony channel. So thank you so much. So we're zooming in and focusing in a little bit more in depth. And I think what you will find as very valuable content, and that is, how do you spot a malignant narcissist or a psychopath? Particularly think about this as you move through your day, as you move through your week, and especially as you kind of think back in the past about how you were love bombed, how you got into this situation to begin with, maybe how you got into this mess, how you got into this financial mess, how you got into this relationship mess, how you got into this work mess or this family mess. And number one, I would like for you to take a look as the feeling in this relationship that you must engage in a tremendous amount of self-sacrifice. If you have felt that you have needed to shut down your needs, not communicate, express, or fulfill your needs, particularly your needs for safety, your needs for communication, your needs to have your opinion validated or reflected, your own healthy narcissistic needs in order for someone to sort of mirror back to you, perhaps what you look like, to help you work through some feelings, experiences, or just be a sounding board to you, that this person did not permit or allow this, that they have caused you to go through a tremendous amount of self-sacrifice, then this is a good indicator that you are in a relationship with someone who is an emotional manipulator and is really looking and navigating through the relationships in terms of a pathological sense of self-importance and a lack of empathy. That is really what sort of typifies someone who is an emotional manipulator, someone who is malignant, narcissistic, or psychopathic. Now, the psychopath will kind of loop around. In other words, they really make it feel that you're indulging in satisfying of your needs. In other words, they will placate you and make it seem like they are allowing you to fulfill perhaps your wildest fantasies, perhaps your needs that have been unmet for so long. Perhaps you've been very lonely. You've felt ostracized. You've felt, not included. You have not felt attractive. A psychopath is able to really scope out and play on people's weaknesses. In other words, they have a really sort of an eighth dimension ability to scope out people who are feeling lonely, who are feeling needy, who are feeling unloved, unattractive, not included, and that they're able to then fulfill these needs right away. I mean, just almost instantaneously, these people will say sweet nothings. They will be just communicating with them in a very sort of self-disclosing way, where all of a sudden they're revealing all sorts of personal information, and then they make this person feel quite at ease and dropping their guard down, and then pretty soon, you feel like you've met your knight in shining armor or your knightress in shining armor, and then pretty soon you feel like you're you're letting down your guard, you're letting down your defense mechanisms, you're letting down your boundaries. And then this is when the malignant narcissist or the psychopath will creep in. Suddenly, this then becomes quickly self-sacrifice. Sacrificing of your values, sacrificing of your morals, sacrificing of your needs. So all of a sudden, your needs are unimportant. Unimportant, i.e., you become unimportant as the relationship progresses on. But in the beginning, in the love bombing, it is really, and like a viewer so aptly stated, the narcissist is so fearful of rejection. They need the support of others. They need the looking on of others. They want others basking in their coolness. They want others to laugh at their jokes. They want others to ha 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 at their sarcasm, oftentimes which is at the butt of others. In other words, they're putting others down, making quips and sardonic, sarcastic remarks about others, and then ingratiating the support of others as they expect others then to laugh at their jokes. Once again, the jokes can be very condescending, where you're laughing at another at their expense. The jokes are always at another's expense. Or, they may then turn this on you and then, cause these jokes to be about you. Either about how you look, how you dress, how you have your hair, how you need your routine, how you need to work out, how you need to eat. They're always then making then fun of you, but it quickly becomes in a sardonic and sarcastic way, which is critical and belittling in nature, and oftentimes very hurtful. But yet, because you've gone through the love bombing stage, because you've then felt like you're now on the in with this person, you would rather have the in with them, because then you become addicted really to this personality type very quickly, because of their extremes of either likability, affability, the percentages, begin to slip in the relationship where it becomes, all about you in the beginning, and perhaps, really listening and, really sort of escorting you, or once again, being your knight in shining armor, your nitrous in shining armor, satisfying all your voids. But then, then through a little bit of progress into the relationship, for everybody's different, you'll find that pretty soon that support is not there. That support is either getting pulled away little by little, or even more painful, the pulling away is then in tandem with pathological lying, a feeling of paranoia, the sort of juxtaposition or the triangulation with you against another, kind of competing and comparing you with other people, or triggering your jealousy or your envy, where before you felt like you were the only one in the world. So you're always trying to get back this feeling of being on the in with them. And so oftentimes this can take the form of self-sacrifice, where you're then sort of, negating your schedule requirements, you're negating your sleep requirements, you're negating your financial requirements. Things that are very important to you, you then find are slipping through the cracks or slipping through your fingers, that they no longer matter anymore, that this person's love becomes basically all, above and beyond anything else that's important to you. So this addiction is very much like a intermittent reward that you see with gambling slots, with people who, play the lottery or get addicted to gambling. So they're going after that big win once again. They're going after that big date. They're trying to recover that feeling of euphoria, sort of boundarylessness love, this sort of unlimitedness that they felt through the hyper arousal, through status. They're looking for that next satisfying of their needs, that void that oftentimes was fulfilled by the narcissist. And, oftentimes people who have been, very in-depth in relationship with these people perhaps had a suffering in their childhood where their parental, needs for parenting and guidance was not met. So the narcissist then, or the psychopath, will then fulfill these parental roles. They'll fulfill these, close sibling roles. They'll be able to then satisfy your unmet needs that were perhaps needed to have been met in childhood, but were not met. And so the narcissist and the psychopath, particularly the psychopath, this is just like low-hanging fruit for these people. They very much look for and then target and really hone in and scope out these types of people because they know that they're easy and vulnerable. They're unsuspecting. They're very green. They're very naive. They're looking for that sort of gone with the wind relationship because they haven't had their needs met in the past. So, they, have these unconscious fantasies of being saved and that, why, woe is me. And so when these people come along that then satisfy them, it becomes that external validation that they don't have able to generate within. So that's when you see the malignant narcissist and the psychopath giving you the gratuitous compliments, holding the door for you, carrying your groceries, the sweet nothings. And especially the psychopath, they'll just push it like a button on a video game. They will just play on people's emotions to the point where they're just ridiculously laughing, joking about you with their friends, joking about you with the coworkers. How could they be so this? How could they be so that? But then to your face, they're, whole different ways. So you see this triangulation. And to get more back on the end, to get back more and sort of, save these people from their pathology, which ends up being these people, once again, who are codependent, who want to help others and are sensitive, then they're, furthermore self-sacrificing of their own needs to help pacify them. You don't have to live a lie. Let me show you what genuine is. You don't have to live like this. Let me show you what the good life is. You don't have to live in sense of rejection, like our viewer so aptly stated. Let me show you what acceptance is. So you become like this, savior or rescuer to the malignant narcissist or the psychopath. Don't feel that way, baby. Let me lick the wound. Let me take care of you here. Let me make you this. Let me do that for you. Let me do your shopping. It becomes more and more of the self-sacrifice. And so oftentimes this is then supported in society. Society, is, put others first. You're too selfish if you take care of yourself. A lot of religions, cultivate this. So in other words, to, honor your mother and your father and do this and do that. And so if this person has this parental role for you in your life, then you're on an ultra self-sacrificing role and you're not able to guide yourself. This other person is guiding you, oftentimes where you're not guiding yourself, you're not empowered yourself. So a healthy relationship should be an even give and take. There should not be this self-sacrificing of your needs, of your foregoing your own ego validation, your needs, your own, belonging needs. You should not have to overly sacrifice and squeeze yourself out, over obligate yourself to take care of or to be in a relationship with others. You shouldn't feel this constant need to, stroke their ego and have yourself be furthermore in the shadows in order to appease their need for approval and validation. As the viewer so aptly stated, they're so fearful of being rejected that others oftentimes are afraid of then being at odds with them and going up against them or expressing anything contradictory that they don't. They just continue to be agreeable to these people because they don't want to lose their validation. They don't want to lose this person. They don't want to lose sort of the status that they give them. The narcissist always has this bigger ego. The psychopath as well. They always want to have that appearance of being the cool guy, the cool girl, the one, who's the one with the money or the style or whatever it is that they are basing their status upon. They could be the funniest one in the office. They can be the one with all the stories. I mean, these people want others to play into their hand, and you become the sore man or sore woman out if you don't play into their hand. So again, this self-sacrifice is really what they then, what ends up taking people down negative orderly direction thinking, is because, you're feeling that deep inside you're not good enough. You are not enough the way that you are. And so you can't put your needs out there. You can't say, you know what, that's too risky. You know what, I don't want to do that. You know what, I don't want to stay up that late. You know what, I don't want to go to that party. I don't want to go to that concert. I don't think this behavior is socially respectable. I don't want to violate my boundaries. So oftentimes, though, if you violated your boundaries before for these people and self-sacrificed, it's so hard to save grace and save your face, that it becomes, even more so. You go more in the opposite direction. You become more of getting into that self-abandonment, that self-violation. You have to you become addicted, so your life becomes out of control. And this is a very scary feeling for a lot of people. And oftentimes when this is in workplaces or marriages, it becomes even more solidified. They're even more, painting themselves an even more negative picture about life. So begin to realize that, this self-sacrifice is not required. In fact, you need to look at a healthy, satisfying, and validation of your needs. In other words, your needs to be listened to. Your partner should be able to listen to you. They should be able to give you eye contact. They should be able to give you physical warmth or emotional warmth. They shouldn't be requiring you to deprive yourself in the relationship. You should be able to take care of yourself. You should be able to be autonomous. You shouldn't have to be in a fear mode that you are not enough. They should be able to validate and express to you that you are enough, that you are lovable, that you don't always have to win their approval. You don't always have to win their validation. Oftentimes, because then it becomes looking for negative attention, which then usually people end up alone in a negative space because they're constantly trying to get their love from a source that really cannot give it. The narcissist really is all about themselves, and the malignant narcissist and the psychopath, they are not able to give you the companionship, the loyalty, the respect, the honesty, the heart-to-heart that you're looking for. They just don't have that ability. It's how they're wired. It's nothing wrong with you. You found yourself in a relationship or a work setting where you're trying to get something from a person that they are not capable of giving. They're not able to. So let them go in love and light. Just realize that they are who they are, that you might have tried so hard, you had sacrificed yourself, but it's nothing wrong with you. You're not a loser. You're just now kind of waking up to the fact of your boundaries and your standards, and so you now need to protect those. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Love you. Have a wonderful day.